You police, let bad guys go. Bother this old lady instead.
Mrs. Chang, I brought you in for questioning because on that day you were...
Only one at scene? Suspect me as murderer just like that? Which fool would murder in their own home?
Mrs. Chang, if you...
Ridiculous! Dare you stop brewing my medicine, curing illness, extending life?
I'll try to keep it brief. Where were you between 1 and 3 in the afternoon on that day?
Ha! You ask where I was? It was Hungry Ghost Festival. Taboo to go out that day. Soak up sun, dispel bad energy. Been sitting in front of house sunning myself. You foreigners understand or not? On that day, Ghost Gate opens. Avoid going out.
I'll try to keep it brief. During that time, did anyone else enter?
Of course not. No one comes in without my permission. No one's getting in any day. Besides you police, who else likes barging into others' homes?
Did anyone else think you might have...
Yes! 2 guys tracking Brian. They've been staring in my house.
Aye, we've spoken to folk across the road, and nobody's laid eyes on the pair you mentioned. James and Mary from the cafe next door said the same. Are you...
I'm sure I didn't see wrong.
I'll try to keep it brief. Master Shen, this here is Sergeant Gaunt, in charge of investigating your brother's case.
Family of the deceased. The investigation into this case is done and dusted. Sign here.
Sergeant Gaunt, I can't sign it yet.
What you say?
My brother won't kill himself.
You questioning the police, are you?
No. I just feel that.
Mr. Shen, we hold your brother's case in the highest regard, very seriously. Suicide is the conclusion reached after meticulous investigation and careful consideration. Whether it's Joseph or the more experienced Sergeant Gaunt, both are on board with this conclusion.
Ain't you here to collect the remains? No signature, no go with the rest of the bleeding paperwork.
哥哥绝不会自杀。可是，如果我签署了这份文件，就意味着这个案子尘埃落定了。我不能就这样轻易签字。哥哥，你到底经历了什么？这种感觉，似乎什么地方不对劲。
Mr. Shen, are you feeling unwell?
A voice tells me that there is an inconsistency between a certain item I saw earlier and the documents in my hands. Officers, I noticed that the letter B is marked on each folder. Is this the police station's code or identifier?
Aye, that's our station code. We're mainly responsible for security in Kensington.
The map indicates that the house where the murder occurred is located in the city of Westminster. On the map, Westminster is labeled with the code A.
You questioning if we ain't got the authority?
I'm just raising a reasonable doubt.
I've mentioned to you before, we received the initial distress telegram. That day, I showed Joseph the distress telegram. He knew the address, so we went together.
The person who sent the telegram is crucial. He is likely a key witness. We should continue.
The scene's a locked room, and the only fingerprints on the murder weapon are your brother's. Just these two bits alone are enough to peg it as a suicide. Unless you can cough up some proper evidence, go on and get out of my sight.
哥哥，什么是侦探呀？
侦探也像旅行家一样四处冒险，但他们总能发现别人注意不到的细节。
说不定有什么细节被我忽略掉了。
If you claim my brother stabbed himself, this piece of evidence seems peculiar. Officers, something still puzzles me. The fingerprints found on the dagger belong to my brother's left index and thumb, and the fingerprints are located at the end of the knife handle. It seems that he wasn't gripping the dagger, but rather holding it between two fingers. In this position, how could he have stabbed himself in the chest with the dagger?
Clearly that ain't the way he held the dagger when he offed himself.
But if he held the dagger in a different way, there should have been more fingerprints left.
Not necessarily.
We speculate your brother held the dagger through his shirt sleeves. No fingerprints were left.
If he intended to kill himself, why would he avoid leaving fingerprints on the dagger?
That doesn't matter.
You!
Mr. Shintonai, get upset. We're not trying to make things difficult for you deliberately. The detail you're questioning, even if it's in doubt, it's dinna change the conclusion. It was a locked room. Door, windows, skylight, all locked from inside. The only key was in your brother's hand. There is nae a second person who could have committed the act in such a situation.
Are there truly no other possibilities?
有没有可能，凶手提前复制了一把钥匙呢？
沈先生，我跟你说过，握在你哥哥手中的是房间唯一的钥匙。
复制一把钥匙并不是多复杂的事。
你对你的无知一无所知。显而易见的问题，警方会考虑不到。
郑夫人家的钥匙采用了一种独特的东方设计，你在案卷中见过的。我找了不少锁匠来核实过，没人能做出一模一样的。
当真如此吗？可，郑阿姨的家里为何要用那么复杂的钥匙和锁？
原因不重要，重要的是，这让案发现场成为了一个密室。
应该还有其他的可能性存在。房间唯一的钥匙在哥哥手里，更可能是因为凶手。也许凶手根本就不需要钥匙。
没有钥匙的话，凶手怎么锁门呢？
凶手不需要用钥匙锁门，因为也许凶手根本就没有进屋。
案发那一天，他整个人气息低落，浑浑噩噩，脚步虚浮。
郑阿姨说，那天中午我哥哥回屋时脸色不对劲，他会不会在回家前就已经中刀了？
你是说，被害人在无外遇伺后回到家中，为了避免追杀而反锁了门窗，最后死在密闭的房间里？
正是这样。
但郑夫人接受讯问时，完全没提过受害者身上有血迹或者胸口中刀之类的事情啊。
也许他没注意到。
荒唐！他对被害人的面部表情都观察得那么细致，怎么可能没注意到被害人胸口是不是插着刀？而且被害人衣服上的血迹，并没有呈现出向下流的趋势，说明被害人死前，并不是处于站立状态。小子，破案不是看侦探小说，猜测要基于证据，你还要我强调几遍？
看来，这不是正确的方向。我需要重新思考一下。 也许凶手根本就没有进屋。
案发那天，
郑阿姨说，也许凶手根本
没有钥。
凶手不需要用钥匙锁门，因为凶手有可能是通过窗户离开的，然后又用某些方法锁上了窗户。
何弟，你来解释。
沈先生，你也检查过的，那2扇窗都是从室内反锁着的。
也许凶手是通过这种办法锁上的窗户。他应该是利用了屋内的某些物品来旋转窗把手。
什么物品？
凶手可以利用这卷纸袋来旋转窗把手。
纸袋要怎么操作？
先将纸袋卷在窗把手上，再利用电报机拉动纸袋。
还记得你检查窗户时我们的对话吗？那个窗把手很紧，得有很大的力气才能扣上，用纸袋来拉肯定会断。
那说不定其他的……
别浪费时间了，用常识想想，这可行吗？
看来，这个手法缺乏可操作性。我需要重新思考一下。凶手有可能是通过窗户离开的，然后又用某些方法锁上了窗户。
何弟，你来。
沈先生，
也许凶手是通过这种办法锁上的窗户。说不定窗户是……
不可能！
你认为
这也不……
这更不……案发的那警局。
房间唯一的钥匙在哥哥手里，更可能是因为凶手。也许凶手锁好门后，
哦，通过哪里送回来？
凶手可以通过天窗送回钥匙。
你是认？
至少这种可能。
何弟，
沈先生，
窗框上有火燎的痕迹，
玻璃上有积灰，
看来也许凶手
没有钥。
凶手不需要用钥匙锁门，因为我曾听人说起过，但事实上，
你说的这……我们破门而入时，我和约瑟
看来，也许
没有。
凶手不需要用钥匙锁，也许
那间屋子要是有人，
看来房间唯一的钥匙在哥哥手里。也许
哦，通过哪里送回来？
毕竟门是房。
可是，凶手要怎样通过门把钥匙送回被害人手中呢？
很简单，
只回到屋内
容我。 凶手有，然后又用
可得，
神仙，
也许凶手是通过这种办法，在警方。
可是
所以你认为谁是？
若警察是帮凶，的确，合理的思路是，暂不做此假设，从头来。大概率，毕竟
可是
凶，首先，凶手要用这件物品，将钥匙和哥哥的手连接起来。凶手很可能是利用这卷
摩斯吗？
纸袋的内侧比较脏，有一些磨损痕迹。我怀疑，这是纸袋在地上拖行所产生的痕迹。
不可行。首先，电报机的朝向就是问题。电报机上的纸盘指向实验桌的方向，而不是指向房门。其次，从空间上看，电报机、被害人和房门并不在一条直线上。这里不仅有角度差，还有高度差。小子，现在你来告诉我，凶手是怎么用纸袋把钥匙送回你哥哥手中的？
仅凭纸袋是不够的，凶手应该还用到了房间中的一些其他物品。究竟哪些物品构成了机关？它们又是怎样运转的？我需要把思路好好整理一下。
铁在当。
可恶！我需要把色。
So that's how it is. Officers, I know how the killer returned the key.
Mr. Shenden, please, share your thoughts.
The killer indeed used the code paper strip to transport the key. He inserted one end of the paper strip into the key's chain hole and bent it back in reverse. Used my brother's hand to hold onto the strip. Next, used a candle to change the direction of the strip and keep it down with a low stool. Installed the reel onto the phonograph. When the phonograph was activated, it retrieved the paper strip and pulled back the key. The key had resistance when passing through the hand, causing the strip to detach. Then, the key stayed in his hand. This is the method the killer used to return the key.
Interesting.
Since the Morse code paper reel is not a component of the phonograph, we all instinctively assumed that it could only be installed on the telegraph machine. But in fact, the telegraph machine can't retrieve paper strips. What truly aided the killer in this scheme was the phonograph by the desk.
The phonograph can have so many uses.
Officers, please take a look. The phonograph's tone arm continuously shifts to the right during music play. The tone arm pushes the paper reel away and the reel rolled into the position where it was found. So, the killer's artifice of creating a locked room illusion stands completely exposed.
Mr. Shen, that's truly an enlightening deduction.
What's your opinion, Sergeant Gaunt?
Your speculation does have a certain level of plausibility.
Could the police say that?
But speculation is just speculation. Cracking a case comes down to evidence and facts.
My statements are backed by factual evidence.
Your speculation does seem to explain some of the phenomena at the scene. But there are still fatal contradictions between it and some crucial facts.
What facts?
Time. Between 1:40 and 2:30 that afternoon, the cafe downstairs heard uninterrupted phonograph music. If the killer turned on the phonograph to transport the key back into the room, then before 1:40, he must have locked the door and left the scene. According to autopsy, your brother's time of death is estimated to be between 2 and 3. Of course, it can be narrowed down further to 2 to 2:28. He was dead when the police arrived. You catch what this implies? Even following your speculation, your brother got stabbed after the killer left the room. Well, that blows the foundation of this reasoning out of the water, doesn't it?
Is it possible he was attacked before 1:50, with death occurring after 2 o'clock?
You know he died from a weapon piercing the left pulmonary artery, causing sudden cardiac arrest. In other words, he died instantly, right after getting stabbed. The blood stains at the scene confirm that as well.
Could this situation be due to... Since the door was locked first, then the murder, the killer likely employed a method to delay the time of the murder.
How can that be possible? There are no signs of binding or defense wounds on your brother's body. Would he just stand by and watch the killer set up a killing mechanism?
I suspect my brother had lost the ability to move at that time because... My brother's autopsy report is the best evidence. Officer Jones mentioned that most contortions are related to paralysis of the back nerves. I suspect the killer used anesthetic drugs on my brother.
We've suggested this direction early on, but toxicology results came back all negative.
Perhaps a substance undetectable with current forensic expertise.
Can't confirm or deny that possibility. But before delving into the drug angle, a more pressing question is, if there was no one in the room at the time, how did the weapon pierce the victim's chest? No crossbows or similar devices were found at the scene.
Officer Jones, Was the dagger vertical to the ground at that time?
At that time, the body was in a contorted position, the chest almost parallel to the ground. The dagger was thrust vertically into his chest. It can be considered as vertical to the ground.
Vertical to the ground. And the location where my brother was murdered happened to be directly beneath the skylight. This is likely not a coincidence.
Are you suspecting the killer hung the dagger on the skylight? On second thought, the skylight is very high and it's impossible to reach without a ladder. But Mrs. Cheng's house doesn't have a ladder. There were no signs of anything being moved at the crime scene. How was the dagger hung up then? It can't have flown there, can it?
Officer Jones, you reminded me. This item made me realize how the killer suspended the dagger.
Hold on. There's no apparent connection between this and the method used to hang the dagger.
Allow me a moment to think. This item made me realize how...
Hold on.
This item made me realize how the...
Hold on.
Allow... This item made me real...
Can this wax cylinder suspend the dagger to the skylight?
No. I'm just considering that this play may have a hidden purpose. The 7-star lantern tells the story of Kong Ming begging for longevity. It feels like my brother is guiding me. This item made me realize how the...
Mr. Shen's suggesting the photograph along with the dagger took off?
He means the lantern in the photo. That idea does have a touch of imagination to it.
But can a lantern truly carry a dagger and take off?
At room temperature, air density is 0.08 of a pound per cubic foot, while hot air in a lantern is 0.06 of a pound per cubic foot. 35 cubic feet volume lantern, excluding its own weight, can lift an object weighing up to 9.17 ounces. The dagger weighs 5.64 ounces, requiring only 24 cubic feet of lantern volume to lift it.
Sergeant Gaunt's calculations are precise and admirable.
Never thought Sergeant Gaunt's math skills were so deep and unbelievable.
Just a bit of a private hobby, you know.
So why wasn't there a lantern found at the crime scene?
I got it! The asbestos mesh serves as the base support for the lantern, with a stone wax as the heat source. This partially burned piece of paper should be part of the lampshade. On the lab table, there's a stack of identical large, lightweight sheets of paper.
I didn't ken what method the killer used to completely burn the lampshade like that.
I believe the lampshade must have been brushed with kerosene. When the flame spread, it could burn down the entire sky lantern.
No wonder there were paper ashes on your brother's body.
The position where the lantern hangs from the ceiling was not controllable. How did the killer ensure that the falling dagger would definitely stab the victim? Besides, about the death time delayed, how did he control the timing of the dagger's descent?
There should be another mechanism at the scene, composed of a sky lantern and some other items. So that's how it is. The ring at the end of the dagger's handle shows signs of scorching. There are scorch marks on the skylight frame as well. And the location where my brother was murdered happened to be directly beneath the skylight. That's the killer's plan.
Go on then. Let's hear it.
The reason the killer placed my brother right beneath the skylight is because the skylight is concave, feasible to fix the sky lantern to its window frame. Then, he tied the kerosene-soaked cotton thread to a candle. After arranging the key, paper, and phonograph, he could leave the room and lock the door. Before long, the candle burned down to the cotton thread that suspended the dagger. Finally, the dagger fell vertically, piercing my brother's chest. My brother's death is definitely not a suicide. It's murder. The killer is still at large.
For someone without professional training, you are quite impressive. You do have a natural talent for detective work, indeed. However, this particular dagger tips the scales at a mere 160 grams. Falling from the skylight, could it veritably penetrate your brother's heart? Perhaps it behooves us to undertake an experiment.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Shen. We've given it our all, tried every which way, but we just can't mimic the scenario you put forth.
But those mechanisms, why?
I do ken how you're feeling, but I'm fearing we're at a standstill with no breakthroughs in sight.
重大突破！重大突破！先生，找到那份书稿了。
我刚刚睡着了。
是啊，外面天都亮了。
沈先生，趁你睡着，我翻了好多书架，可算是把那本书找到了。夸我，夸我！
秀丽，快把书拿给沈先生看吧。
沈先生，罗佩借鉴的应该是这篇小说了。
藻井之殇，作者勾陈居士。如果不是祖父的急性，我恐怕不会再踏入祠堂一步。老屋门环上斑驳的铜锈，一如叔伯们身上阿扎的铜锈。三婶逢人便炫耀儿子刘洋带回来的留声机，据说是灌了名伶的唱段，要在仪式上大露一手。大伯死了，被赐死在祭祖仪式上，那可是件密事啊！唯一的钥匙就在大伯身上。现场除了尸体旁的七星灯格外惹眼，就是那会唱歌的机器。大伯是被七星灯借命，亦或是被机器的声音蛊惑？我重新勘察了现场，的确是件密事。留声机也因变调而显得诡异。难道真的是鬼神作祟？凶手是用孔明灯将凶器升到藻井之上的，变调的留声机则让我察觉到了滚轴上的鱼线。密室迎刃而解，但藻井下的悲剧还要像这滚轴一样轮回多少次呢？封底贴着一张纸，上面写着邵伯镇官厅街东首。先生，怎么样？有什么发现吗？密室、留声机、孔明灯、北斗七星，这些描述都与哥哥遇害的现场一致。 书中的密室没有天窗，但屋顶有个藻井，两者的作用是一样的。摩斯码纸袋则被替换成了鱼线。相比罗佩的小说，这份书稿与哥哥的命案现场更加相似，就好像作者亲历过一样。
其他现场的细节也都一样吗？
小说中的案件发生在祠堂，而伦敦的案件发生在书房，两者的布置有诸多差异。不过，这些差异均与案情无关，唯一案情上的区别是死状。
死状？
小说中的受害者是在藻井下长跪祭拜时，被下落的匕首扎死的。凶器插在他的背上，他的尸体也没有出现反曲现象。
这个差异意味着什么呢？
我不知道。
沈先生，我听了你们的讨论，突然有些联想。
愿闻其详。
我记得车尔尼雪夫斯基曾说：“艺术源于生活，高于生活。”嘿，毕竟我本人也是侦探小说作者嘛，明白作者喜欢从现实中获得故事灵感。既然这本书的情节与沈先生追查的案件高度相似，我想，那作者应该是案件的知情人吧？活的，活的。
那两位可知道勾陈居士是何许人？
这我就不清楚了。
作者只留了笔名，我也不知道他的真实身份。
他还有其他作品吗？
没有了，这是勾陈居士唯一的投稿。
有没有哪位作家的文风与他相似呢？说不定作者还用过其他笔名。
此书虽构思精巧，但文笔生涩，作者更像初出茅庐的生手，而非经常创作小说之人。
那字迹呢？我好像看到过一些书稿字迹与这本书相似。
这是刘当用的誊抄件，字迹是誊抄原的，原稿已经退还给作者了。
当时退稿的地址应该还能找到吧？
时间久远，书局又搬过家，收稿和退稿的记录都找不到了。
书的这个部分，说不定对找作者有帮助。书的封底贴了一张纸，上面写着“邵伯镇官厅街东首”。
这个看上去确实是碧城姐的字迹。韩秋姐，你知道这个地址吗？
没有，不过你倒提醒我了。碧城说过自己找到了部分剧稿作者的地址，准备走访一下。
先生，我们快去吕先生写的地址看看吧，说不定勾陈居士就住在那里。
好，我们看看去。两位，我可以把这份书稿先借走吗？
当然，还有什么需要我帮忙的，尽管开口。
再见，再见。
邵伯镇官厅街东首，就是这里了。
进去看看。
先生，这里看上去荒废很久了，勾陈居士会不会早就搬走了？
看屋内的装饰布局，这不是住宅，而是一座祠堂。
祠堂？他总不会住在祠堂里吧？
先调查一下看看。
二位私闯进来，小心会有血光之灾呀！所幸二位也算有缘，遇上我谢半仙，就由我来帮你们算一算如何避凶，怎么样？
你不也是私闯进来的吗？
非也非也，我对这里熟得很，知道化解之法。
我看你是想骗我们算命，让我们付钱吧？
施主，这个讲究的是缘分。掏5个铜板，捧个香火，为此事做个小小的功德便可。
谢老先生，我献2份香火，但你不必给我算命。
不知施主希望我做什么？开光、做法、解梦、看风水。
我想请教几个问题。
好说好说。
谢老先生可认得这宅院的主人？
认得呀，吴家大老爷吴志明吗？我还给他的孙子们算过姻缘。不过他们几年前举家搬去上海了，这祠堂也就荒废了。
吴家可有善写书之人？
吴家人大多经商，只有吴老爷的3孙子吴松涛肚里有墨水。不过听说他留洋去了。
果然是他。
巧了，1个月前有位姑娘来过，也问了我同样的问题。
半仙，你说的这位姑娘可是圆圆脸、留短发、戴一副黑框眼镜？
正是。原来你们认识啊？
不知那位姑娘还说了什么？
她说她是什么书局的修撰。吴家公子7年前向书局投稿了一本书，他觉得写得很不错。
7年前？
是啊，他是这么说的。
原来是这样。
施主，瞧你印堂发黑，命里会有劫数，要不要我传授你渡劫之法？
呸！先生，你是不是又头疼了？我扶你去休息吧。
不急，我们先回一趟书局，我需要确认一些信息。
先生，你真的不再休息一下吗？
思绪纷扰，也睡不着。
算了，拗不过你。话说，祠堂里那个算命先生说7年前，你好像很震惊的样子。
罗佩的斗士遗阵，是在哥哥命案后才发表的，因此，我一直认为书的作者是命案的知情人。但凿井之声是7年前写的，远早于命案发生的时间。
也就是说，写出小说的作者反倒不一定与命案有关，而是真正的凶手在作案时模仿了小说中的杀人手法。凶手是读过这本小说的人。
更准确地说，是知道小说内容的人。这本书被拒稿了，并未得到发表。理论上，在命案发生时，知道内容的人只有作者本人，以及当年的编辑和滕超元。当然，也不能排除作者曾私下给其他人看过书稿。
我们刚才回书局一趟，先生已经确认那位编辑和滕超元没出过国。 他们也表示没有跟其他人说起过书的内容。
接下来需要确认的，就是作者那边了。
这么说，吴松涛的嫌疑还是很大。
可偏偏吴松涛在案发前一天，就离开伦敦返回国内了。
可是，案发现场不是发现了延时装置吗？
那套装置最多只能延时10几分钟，不可能达到1天之多。而且，案发那天早上，不少人都见过哥哥。
那吴松涛的不在场证明一定是伪造的。
其实，从伦敦带回案卷后，我就去上海找过吴松涛。他看上去并无异样，还拿出了船票和离境记录作证。那些资料看上去是真实的。这些年来，我不是没有推演过吴松涛是凶手的可能，但并未找出破绽。
的确，如果吴松涛真的是凶手，他是怎么做到的呢？
无论如何，我们都有必要再去上海一趟，问一问有关这本书的事。
没错，感觉我们离真相越来越近了。
沈仲平和他的助手最近去了扬州，在金瓷书局里找到了一份书稿。书稿？据说是本小说。沈仲平认为，他跟吴松涛有关。他正在来上海的路上，应该是想找吴松涛。知道了。
天色不早，快打烊了。咱们抓紧时间去吴松涛的洋货铺。
上海街头真是繁华呀，街上的汽车也变多了。先生，你知道我最喜欢什么时候的上海吗？
晚上，因为有电。
那你猜猜，这次来上海，我最想坐什么？
市城新开的当当车。
先生懂我哎。